When you're with a man who interrupts you when you're having a conversation with him, you're in the middle of expressing yourself and he just starts talking instead, talking about his take on the subject, you've got a man who is emasculated. This is not what healthy masculine men do. And you know that this is frustrating. This does not feel good for you. Something is off. And when you tolerate this kind of behavior, you're going to get a lot more of it. What you're actually doing is communicating to him that your needs, that you as a person, matter less than he does. And if you want to have a healthy masculine man who leads you properly, then you need to do something to shift this. You need to speak up. And in this video, we're going to talk about how you can speak up. And we're also going to talk about why men do this in the first place. Why some men don't know how to just have a normal, healthy conversation without feeling the need to interrupt you. And we're going to talk about how masculine men do things right. Before we get into it, I'm going to introduce myself. My name is Zach Rohde. I'm here to lead you into creating the relationship of your dreams using your feminine energy and what I call feminine communication to inspire a man into cherishing you. If you've not yet subscribed to this channel, make sure you do that below. Hit the notification bell and be sure to like this video because, of course, I'm going to make sure it's a really good one for you. So, these emasculated men, women do this too. Every time that's happened to me, it's annoying. So it's going to be annoying when a woman experiences it from a man, but probably even worse. So when a man does this, he's showing that he is emasculated. He is showing that he doesn't know how to lead. He doesn't know how to lead a conversation properly. He's demonstrating that he is incompetent at leading a conversation. Because a masculine man, the way that he's going to run a conversation is he's going to be leading it from start to finish. He's going to be asking you questions. He's going to be in charge of the pace. He's going to be showing a lot of curiosity in you. And he's going to know how to listen. And he's going to enjoy listening because he likes you. He should be liking you. And he wants to get to know you. He wants to understand the way that you think, the way that you feel, and why. He wants to understand your inner world. And so, yeah, of course, he's going to enjoy talking as well, but he's going to really be interested in getting to know you. And not just during early dating, but also when you're in a relationship with him, when you are married to him. But emasculated men, and of course, it's just a specific type of emasculation. I'm not saying every emasculated man does this, but some emasculated men do this, where they don't know how to lead a conversation. And so they're frequently interrupting you so that it can be their turn to talk. This is a very childish thing. This is someone who hasn't learned how to take turns. Like a 3-year-old is supposed to start learning how to, or 3 or 4-year-old is supposed to start learning how to take turns with their toys. Well, he doesn't know how to take turns with his conversation. And he doesn't realize that he is in charge of the conversation. Now, of course, to be fair, if you tend to just talk and talk, because there's certainly women like that go on long monologues, then that is definitely a problem. And a man should be interrupting you. Though he shouldn't just interrupt and start talking. He should actually be interrupting you and telling you like, hey, you're just continuing to talk here, and it actually lead you into knowing how to have a healthy conversation. Because lots of women don't know how to have healthy conversations either. Lots of women just continue to talk and talk, just as men do. I'm not blaming one gender or the other. Just lots of men and women have problems having conversations. So if you find yourself in this situation with a man, and let's assume that you're not going on long monologues, that's not the reason that he is interrupting you, then you're not going to be feeling good. You're going to perceive, probably accurately, that he is not considering your needs and your space and your time to express as much as he's considering his own. It's a form of selfishness. It's a form of self-centeredness. And what a lot of women do in these situations is they just stay silent. They just let it happen. So many women, so many good-hearted, amazing women that I know in my academy program, just in life in general, who unfortunately stay silent as a form of control, right? Because when you don't speak up, when you just try to be easygoing and not rock the boat, what you're actually doing is you are trying to control him, his perception of you, so that he sees you as agreeable or worthy or not a burden in some kind of way. You're putting yourself second. You're putting your heart second, and you're putting your needs second. And that's not what a healthy feminine woman does. A healthy feminine woman is going to speak up when a man is doing something that he shouldn't be doing. And obviously, like, there's the big stuff, like, I don't know, he's trying to get physical with you way too quickly. That's a big problem. Or he's yelling at you. That's a really big problem. This is a smaller problem. But this is where your self-worth really comes to the test. Because with the bigger stuff, it might be easier to say something because it's so unbelievably inappropriate. It's so disrespectful, and in some cases abusive. You have to say something. I hope you would say something. But the smaller stuff is the real test, because it's easier for you to rationalize and be like, oh, it's not a big deal. You know, he's really enjoying talking. And you might really enjoy listening to him talk as well. That makes it even harder. But for you to fully be in your feminine self-worth, you need to speak up about things like this. You can't just let it go, because he's not doing his job as the leader, and he is communicating through his actions that he is valuing his needs and desires more than yours. That's not fair. It's not right. If you allow that to happen, you are also communicating the same thing. And then that becomes your co-creation. You have to be willing to risk him being upset by this. If he gets upset by it, that's his problem for being a baby. You need to speak up. But of course, you need to speak up using feminine communication. I would never tell you to start judging him or blaming him or anything like that. But you do need to share what's coming up for you. And what is coming up for you? What is coming up for you when a man interrupts you like that repeatedly? Do you feel anger? If you were in touch with your anger, you'll probably feel some anger. And that can just be like a irritation, frustration, that kind of feeling. It doesn't have to be full-blown anger. Do you feel any anxiety? Maybe anxiety that he's not leading properly, that he's not hearing you or understanding you or seeing you in the way that you need? Do you feel shame because he's basically communicating that you're less than in some way? Whatever you feel is perfect, but you need to express it. You need to share that with him. You need to ask for help with those feelings. May I please have some help? It's what I'm feeling. You start there. You let him lead you into understanding what's going on, and you share that. This is going to be an important reflection for him so that he understands that his behavior is not appropriate. But you're not doing it in a way where you're judging him, because you're focusing fully on you. You're focusing on how you are being emotionally impacted in a negative way without making it about him. Of course, it is because of him that it's happening, but you're not putting that blame onto him. You're not putting that responsibility onto him. And then you're going to see, does he grow up? Does he learn better social skills? And I'm not saying he's going to do that perfectly right away, right? If that's an unhealthy pattern for him, it can take him time. You're going to have to bring it up multiple times, many times, right? Don't just think you can just share this once and then he's going to fully get it and it's going to go away. It's just like when you're, if you had a man, my wife, for example, when I was teaching, I still am teaching her feminine communication, but especially during the early phases of teaching her feminine communication, I've had to correct her on the same thing like over 100 times in the last 6.5 years. So hundreds and hundreds of corrections overall. And I have to, because I'm disrespecting myself if I don't. And I'm also showing a lack of devotion to her if I don't, because I'm basically communicating that, she doesn't matter enough to me to help her become more feminine. And the same is true for you. You need to share many times so that he starts to get it, because otherwise you're going to feel more drained. You're going to get increasingly frustrated. It's going to impair the connection, which isn't going to be good for either of you. That's not what you want. So you got to speak up. I know it's hard. I know it takes a lot of courage to do it, especially multiple times over and over again, including even in the same conversation. Right? Even in the same 5 or 10 minute conversation, you might have to share multiple times, but that's how he's going to get it. And you need to be willing to decide for yourself. And this is true for everything that I teach, all the problems that a man is doing. You need to decide that you are so worthy of a man who's stepping up to be devoted to you, that he's always going to be putting in the effort to be better. He doesn't have to be perfect, but he needs to be putting in the effort. And if he isn't, if he just wants to continue doing immature stuff, are you willing to leave and find a man who's better? Because if you're not, then what you're communicating is, I'm not better either. I'm not worthy of better. And then you're not going to get better. I want you to have the best. You deserve the best, but you need to believe that you're worthy of the best. And you show that you are worthy of the best by actually taking action, by actually communicating your own patterns of communication avoidance and sharing exactly what is going on for you over and over and over again as many times as needed. That's how you're going to get a man who fully cherishes you. If you would like my help learning how to make these shifts, I would love to speak with you on a call where we will talk about your love life problems, and I will tell you exactly why you are co-creating realities that you don't want, co-creating realities where you're not being fully cherished by a man. I'll tell you everything that I see, and then we'll find out if our Academy program is right for you. If you would like to learn more about the call and about our Academy program, then go below this video, open up the description, click on relationshipofyourdreams.com, and watch the video on that page.